Am I the a-hole for telling my fiancé that I don't think I can trust him around my children? I have been with my fiancé for 7 years now, and I have 2 sons from a previous relationship. They are 12 and 8. Their father stopped taking them in 2020 for reasons unknown, and around maybe a year ago is when this started happening. My fiancé overrules me. There's been a few times where I've told the boys they can do something or have something, like one of my personal snacks, and he will overrule me. If the boys say mom said I could, he has said about 3 times now, well I said no. I ended up sitting down and communicating that I'm 100% not okay with that. It did lead to a fight about 6 or so months ago, and things did get better after that. However, 2 days ago I told my oldest that he didn't need snow pants on when he went outside because he wasn't playing in the snow. He was just waiting for his friend's mom to pick him up. So we were all just standing outside. Well, my fiancé told him to go out with his snow pants on because he stepped in the snow briefly to grab a stick. My son said, Mom told me I didn't need my snow pants on, and my fiancé then says, well let's add to that and go get your snow pants on, you're going to need them anyways to hang outside with your friend, so just go get them on, now with an attitude. As my son is walking off he says, I was just listening to my mother, and he did absolutely have an attitude about it because he was right. I told him he didn't need them. So I told my fiancé, I just told him he didn't need his snow pants, and my fiancé just ignored me, pretty much. Acknowledged what I said but didn't respond. Well, about a minute later he followed my son back in the house under the guise of getting a cigarette. My son comes out and tells me, he literally just followed me in there to tell me if I ever talk to him like that again, then I will be grounded. After he left I pulled my fiancé aside and told him that I don't think I can trust him around my kids anymore. Him following my son inside to corner him with a don't speak to me like that, or you will be grounded talk really doesn't sit well with me, at all. Especially where he was told multiple times that I was the one who told him he didn't need his snow pants regardless, so he should have backed off after realizing that I had already made that decision, but he instead acted like he needed that control and have final say. He's basically saying that I'm being ridiculous. That he's been around for 7 years and he's never done anything that would warrant me not trusting him around my kids, and that I should see that he's just being a parent. He's texting, saying it wasn't a big deal that he wanted my son to put his snow pants on, and that I apparently have been known to overreact so he isn't surprised. Am I overreacting? Because a part of me is truly just uncomfortable with this whole interaction, and him feeling like he can overrule me at all. It feels very controlling. ETA. There has been no wedding planning, and I haven't worn my ring in 6 months, since our last fight. For argument's sake, I still use the term fiancé, but we haven't proceeded with anything to make me a wife, because I've been dragging my feet since our last argument about this, and have been on high alert, looking for signs of changed behavior, before ultimately making the decision whether or not to go forward. And you guys are not understanding my post, I don't think. I told him I can't trust him around my kids 2 days ago. He is not here currently. I am not choosing him over my kids. Him telling me I'm overreacting is all through text messages. He is currently at his mother's, I believe. But he is not physically here. I guess I'm not understanding how you guys are jumping to the conclusion of me not protecting my children, when I've said throughout my post that I've always stepped in and nipped this in the bud while it was happening. I also said in my post that this has only happened 3 times, 4 including the snow pants issue. Each time, I stepped in and said something with the exception of the snow pants issue, because he physically followed my son indoors, and I didn't hear it. After I found out, I told him I could not trust him around my kids and he left, after I told him I needed space. I didn't realize that was an important detail of the post because I wasn't asking for judgment related to him leaving. Stop the nonsense of single moms blah 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 BS. He has say on everything because I include him in every big important decision regarding the kids. He stopped including me and respecting my role as a parent. I also pay more bills than him because I make more than he does. There's way too many men on this post pulling the she doesn't want a dad or partner to her kids, don't date single moms, she only wants him to pay the bills card. Ask for info if you're that confused.